So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.
Hi guys, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, obviously, but I want to take a little bit of a different twist to it. I want to be talking about how Bitcoin is going to impact your hodl bags. I mean, this week's actually going to be an insane week. So we're going to be unpacking Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. We're also going to be looking at why potentially we didn't get what we wanted to see in Bitcoin last week, and why that shouldn't necessarily be seen as a negative. I'm going to throw a few warning signs at you, but ultimately, at the end of the stream, we're going to be looking at alts, and I'm going to have shared enough information with you so that you can make an informed decision whether you're going to want to hold on to your hodl bags, whether you're going to reduce some, or even when you will be, or if you will be able to get some. So with this week, and all the news that's currently playing and playing effect in, it's worthwhile that we just take a step back and just quickly take in the gravity of the week and see what is happening within this week. So to the left hand side of your screen, we'll see that I've got a couple of headlines lined up of critical events that's going to play out during the week. Now, today is not that big a deal. Today, though, the big thing is Binance is final day to appeal. And then obviously we're going to be looking at what we need to do. We need to plan. So that is what today is about, planning. But tomorrow we're going to be getting the Hinman documents release, or the Hinman speech document release on XRP. So we need to be looking at XRP today to see whether there is going to be something, as well as the SEC Coinbase rulemaking response, whether they've adhered to everything that needs to happen. So there's going to be a lot of information coming our way during the week that might be reasons why Bitcoin kind of just hovered there. We didn't really get that bloodiness that we wanted to see, as well as the CPI data release that's going to be coming out on Tuesday. Now, CPI is kind of the fundamental line that takes us over to Wednesday, where the PPI data is going to be coming out. The US rate decision is going to be coming out, where they're going to decide. Are they going to raise the rate? So we're going to be looking at that as well today. The dot plot. Remember how significant the dot plot was last year? So new dot plot coming our way. Let's see what's happening on there. And then finally, the FOMC statement. And then there's a few more things, Thursday and Friday. So I'm going to take you every day with a stream through this week and help guide you through this so that we can get on the other side, get through to the other side with our hodl bags intact. It's so easy to get distracted and get influenced into making a stupid decision on something that is an investment coin. And so let's get into this. So I'm going to bring up my screen and let's talk about the Puell multiple. So this is actually a very nice chart that I found on Twitter page for CryptoCon. And at the top, it basically explains how the calculation works. So it is the daily coin issuance in USD divided by the moving average of 365 days of daily coin issuance. Meaning the goal with the Puell multiple is to try and see whether the miners are in profit and whether it's profitable mining. And normally what the Puell multiple does is it's an early sign of a bull run, and it can also be seen as an early sign of a bear market. So you can use it, and that's basically what this basically shows us. So when there's a trend breakdown in the Puell multiple, like you can see in 2019, let me just highlight that on the screen, you can see that is when there's a correction phase, and then we move on. And the argument is we're all looking at this and saying to ourselves, okay, we just came off a bottom for Bitcoin. So is this potentially the top? So I want to be using this. You're going to be seeing this chart a lot during the stream, or a version of this chart. And I'm going to be referring to that so that we can know, are we getting into this crypto winter retrace? Is the trend being broken where we are now, or is there a little bit more upside in? So that is important stuff. So keep this off the back of our heads. Okay, now that said, let's quickly have a look at who's in the chat. Let's quickly say hello to the chat. Let's see who we've got here. We've got Stefan here. We don't have Peter here anymore. He's left. I don't see him anymore. Are you still there? But he's backstage. And then there's a few more guys. Hi guys, how you doing? So let me know in the chat before we move on. Let me know in the chat, how was your weekend crypto related? Did you buy some dips? Give me a 111 if you did. If you bought some dips. Okay, and if you were sitting on the side taking a breather, give me a 999. Let's quickly see where you guys are at. There's 42 people live at the moment. So come on, let that chat run. Let's see where everybody's at, whether you're the only one maybe not buying or where you're the only one sitting on the side. Let's quickly see what out. I won with my shorts big time from Jared. Congratulations, buddy. We also had a couple of nice shorts that we shared last week. So I'm happy to see that you did. I saw somebody bought Cardano. Well done, buddy. Cardano is an exciting coin at this stage, technical analysis wise. And we also had Charles Hodgkinson over the weekend actually come online and saying he's looking at a $40, if I'm not mistaken, Cardano at the end of 2023. So I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. We can take it from there. I see a lot of 9s though. It's fairly balanced, but it's okay. It's okay if you're a 9 at this stage, because what I'm going to show you today might just change that. So if all said and done, now that we've gone through this, let's quickly start off with what is important, the DXY. Now, I looked at the DXY beginning last week, we looked at it. And basically what I pointed out to you guys was the bearish divergence on the DXY. Now, if you're not familiar with divergence, I'm going to give you a 1-second crash course. Higher high in price, lower low in RSI, or lower low in price, higher high in RSI. That's what you're looking for. When that happens, you've got a situation where it's either overvalued or undervalued. That's what we're trying to estimate, just whether something is overvalued or undervalued. Okay, so we looked at the DXY, the dollar index, and we look at it for one main massive reason. When the DXY goes up, crypto stocks, tech stocks retraces. When the DXY goes down, they do well. So it's basically when people are fleeing to dollar, the DXY tends to do well. And when people feel comfortable buying, the DXY does badly. And what we had Bitcoin retracing now we've had it actually now for a couple of weeks. And you can see that this is the DXY on the daily. So for the last 2 weeks or such, the DXY has been going up. But it's been going up and it created hidden bearish divergence, meaning people was selling, but it was not selling at a sustainable rate. Or they were selling, but they were selling unnecessarily. Meaning that when we have this divergence, it's telling you that the bargain is in now. It's time to buy. Now, the DXY is currently still holding at the top here. And subsequently, we didn't get Bitcoin pumping. We wanted to see the pump. And then obviously the SEC came out and just screwed everybody over because some of these alts went on sale like crazy. And the DXY is still just sitting there. So there is a deal to be had. There is some excitement that we can be looking forward to. Okay, before we move on, let's just make sure we've got all the foundational bases laid of what is happening in the rest of the market, and then we'll take this over to the crypto space. So I'm going to be brief. Let's look at the Dow Jones. So if you look at the US 30 or the Dow Jones, top 30 performing companies, you can see that what are we doing? We are on the brink of making a higher high. The RSI is not setting up for any divergence just yet. So this is good. But the S&P 500 has already made that higher high. So the argument is with the SPX, we're making a higher high. The Dow Jones is not doing the same. And this brings me to this chart that I normally use to see whether there's divergence between them. Meaning, the last time we were looking at the S&P 500 and the US 30 or the Dow Jones, and you had a scenario where the yellow line, Dow Jones, were making a lower lows, okay? And you had let's just line them up to the right-hand side of the screen, and the S&P 500 were making higher high. There was a divergence between those two. So it's an early sign that there's a trend change. Things were trending down in May, and then we had a really good run up to where we are now. And the big question is, between the S&P 500, which is already going up higher, and the Dow Jones, and the DXY sitting in this holding position where it's at now, people might be uncertain. And that's all good and fine. But what gives me confidence that it's going to turn out in our favor, we're going to move up, and that 30K Bitcoin is possible, is the fact that where we are now, there's no divergence between these two. So however the percentages are up, and on the charts, there's a difference. At this stage, in relation to the price action, when you compare them with each other, we don't have that divergence just yet. So until then, we can actually still say with a relaxed heart, okay, let's treat the trend as if it's going to last forever. Meaning, for the remainder of today's stream, why don't we just pretend we all believe it's going to go up, and let me just lay a picture out for you. And then from that point, you can start shooting holes into it and decide whether you want to be on the 9 side or whether you're happy staying in the 1 side. Okay. And 9s meaning those that sitting on the side versus those that actually started buying a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to bring back the screen and let's talk further. So with that being said, now that we've got an idea of where the legacy markets are lying, let's just make sure the Nasdaq isn't giving us anything else. And this is a chart that might lend to the reason why there's this stalling of Bitcoin, this uncertainty of Bitcoin, because it's sitting in a situation, if it goes higher now, there needs to be a big enough push to delete the divergence. So everybody's kind of sitting and waiting for everybody else to do the work. So that means nothing's getting done at the moment. Now, we did say it's a big week, so we need to navigate this bigger week as it goes through the week. But now let's get to the fun stuff, Bitcoin. Now, it's important that we have a good understanding of Bitcoin, because in order for us to know what to do with our alts, the Bitcoin picture is important. You know, it's gonna play a big role. So what was I saying to you guys last week? And I'm going to stick to this. So it's going to sound a little bit repetitive, but this is a weekly time frames, guys. This is for the hodl bags. So there's not a lot that's going to change every day or so. So you need to remember that. Okay, so let's get into this Bitcoin. So when we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's made a lower low on the weekly time frame when it was around 15K. We had strong bullish divergence for Bitcoin. That basically pointed to the argument that the market wasn't just cheap, it was undervalued. So it's like a second-hand car. It wasn't at sale necessarily. It was being sold below market value. So it wasn't cheap because it's used. It was cheap because somebody's selling it at half the price or below the price. So you can buy it and actually turn around and resell it immediately, almost. Immediately meaning 2 months later with a profit. That's what we're looking for when we trade. We're looking for those bargains. So if that is what we look for at the bottom, the argument is simple. If I want to be bearish, if I want to say, okay, right, it's over, all this bad news and all this potential legacy news that might just mess up my hodl bags, and they did get messed up over the weekend. If all that is something to be taken serious, won't the weekly on the Bitcoin chart kind of reciprocate, give the same kind of structure? And it's not. Yes, it's trending down on the daily. That's the part. But on the weekly time frame, we're just in a sideways consolidation, and we're in this reload zone trying to get onto our target, that target of 34K. So from that point of view, nothing too bad. Now, guys, it's worth noting that I might have jumped the gun and shared a few things too soon, meaning kind of forgot to consider this week. So last week I was all about, yes, we're in that close to that 50% wick zone. It's really good. Want to see the divergence get locked in, meaning I want to see this. Let's bring back my bigger screen. I want to see this. I want to see Bitcoin go and make a lower low, and I want to see the divergence. But with a week like we have, FOMC CPI, PPI, all those things. It's maybe just postponed by a week, meaning that we can get a week where we maybe grind up a little bit higher, go to about 26.4, smash down, then get our divergence. Because remember, where's the divergence in validation? So we can have a little bit of sideways action. And the beauty is, for those that are still in alts, that's maybe feeling like their alts are really undervalued now, you've had the biggest grunt of the pain. So for you, the retrace might be a little bit different. Okay, that leads me to Ethereum. Let's talk alts. Let's talk Ethereum real quick. Ethereum has already got that divergence locked in, guys. Already getting ready. It's already getting ready for that big move, that next move. Hidden bullish divergence, a continuation of the trend. So it's waiting for the rest of the market to kind of figure itself out. For all this legacy mess, CPI data to get revealed, shakeouts to happen, those unnecessary easy long trades, those traders being taken out, and then the move might just happen. It's already there. But now, don't take my word for it. I've done a little study for you guys, and I want to show the study and then explain this to you guys, how interesting it is, because we know the market never repeats itself, but it has a tendency to always rhyme. So I'm going to be looking at the dominance, because the big question that we've been saying the whole day is it okay to be in alts? Is this now over? Do I need to think about this? Or is it even good to buy some of these alts discounts? Because, if you think about Cardano just went on the weekly and gave us strong bullish divergence, same as what Bitcoin did, but Bitcoin did it at 15K. Bitcoin's trending down. So is that a good one? Can it be deleted? So those things are playing in, and the dominance is the biggest trick that I want to bring into this. So before I explain this chart, two things you need to, let me explain this chart and two things you need to consider. So I'm just going to take away my face, make this thing a little bit bigger. You'll see on the left-hand side, this is 2016. Remember, the more the market looks like it's random, it's just rhyming. It doesn't repeat, it always rhymes. And then there's 2021. Now let's get to this. And I want to show you this interesting thing that I've picked up on the chart. And that's the Bitcoin dominance. Now I just need to find my dominance somewhere here in this list. Let's just add it in. BTC.D, Bitcoin dominance. Come on, where are you hiding? Right at the top. Just open your eyes, Mr. Rune. Right. Okay, so let's get into this. So if you look at the dominance, the argument is that we all know when Bitcoin goes up, the dominance tends to go up, alts don't do well. But look at this. I want to show you this. This is now the dominance since May 2021. So top of bull market, all the shit. It's just been ramming up and down. So you haven't had an alt that's consistently making you more BTC. That's the reality, okay? And everything got down, everything got punished, and some may be more severe, and that's why the dominance is ranging. But now we've got the dominance breaking out. So there's 1, 2, 3 tops is breaking out. So it's easy to say that, whoa, all things are falling to pieces. But this is where I'm going to remind you again, guys, the more things change, they always stay the same. Remember that. The market never repeats, but it always rhymes. So look at this dominance. It's breaking up. So it's really looking bad for some of these alts. But look at the dominance. Look at what it's doing at the moment. It's giving us what? Strong bearish divergence. This is a trend breaker. Now, let's just say, I'm going to bring you back to that argument. Let's say Bitcoin is currently in a situation where it's going to go up. Let's all just agree on that for 1 second. If Bitcoin goes up, and this dominance chart that I've got here breaks down, as per the divergence, what will that mean for your alts? Okay, and this is the answer. So let's look at this chart. I want to show you this chart. How much time do you have? 19 minutes. It's almost about time to wrap this up. Okay, so to the left-hand side of the screen, guys, there's Bitcoin in the prior bull market, leading up to the bull market. So I'm just going to bring the dominance, which is below it, up. And I brought these 3 lines in to kind of just help and aid with the scaling. So as Bitcoin was going through its previous all-time high, there's the 2013 all-time high, Bitcoin was going up in value. And then the alts was going up in greater value, i.e. BTC going up, alts going down. And if we look at, just to make sure that all is still the same, here's Bitcoin up to the last bull market. There's the 2017 all-time high, this all-time high that's sitting over here in 2016, end of 2016, 2017. End of 2017. I should actually just rename that, but okay. Now, when we look at that, we've also have the all-time high, and then let's line up these lines so you can look at the dominance and as prices moving. What are we getting? Same thing. As Bitcoin moves up, now the dominance is dropping, which means once Bitcoin breaks its previous all-time high, only then we can start thinking alt season. But we need to plant the seeds now, and that's what the big question is. My alt bags, what the hell? So now let's take this a little bit further. I'm going to go back in time, and I'm going to go to where we currently think we are. We all kind of agree that we're somewhere in this space, this equivalent of where the market was, meaning we're experiencing the bear market rally. Now I'm going to bring the dominance up to that same point. So now you can see my cursors aligning in the same time, meaning Bitcoin bottoms. And once it starts moving up, dominance moves up. And I want to leave this and I want to mark this line right there. I'm going to show you the similarities. And I'm going to show you something that's really going to change the way you look at the market. Remember, our perspective of things current always creates our reality. So if your emotions are set to a point that it's negative, you're just going to hang on to the negative stuff. Vice versa for the positive. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Now, let's take this to where we are now. This is our same equivalent of where we think prices. BTC bottom at the bottom, strong bullish divergence. We're about ready to go up, and BTC doubles in value at least. BTC tripled in value there. BTC doubled in value at least. Okay, so now I'm going to move the dominance over to that same point for you guys. The way we see that is obviously the cursors start lining up. So there's Bitcoin at the bottom. Let's line it up. Okay, BTC at the bottom. As price goes up, as BTC reaches the top, the dominance start going up. And I'm going to mark that line out. Okay, Bitcoin at around 30,000. Let's move it. Let's move it to the 30,000 line. And let's bring this to this point here. Now look at this. Once BTC was at 30K, BTC retraced in price. But look at what the dominance did. The dominance moved up quite aggressively. What does that mean? It meant as BTC was retracing, alts got smashed. What happened to your alts over the weekend? They got smashed. But now, after that smash, BTC consolidates, okay, finds a low, and then has another run to try and either make a higher high. It's just has another attempt at the range highs. That's what we're waiting for. BTC is at the low area. I'm waiting for it to try and have another attempt. I'm saying 34. Remember, the market rhymes. It doesn't repeat. Maybe it falls short and goes to 28K. But what I do see here is at that stage, what do we get? We've got Bitcoin pushing back up to those range highs, those same range highs where your alts got destroyed. Okay? But look at the dominance at that stage. The dominance moves down because that's how money gets cycled through the market over and over and over. Fresh money finds crypto through Bitcoin, then makes money, then looks for more riskier, more rewarding things to buy, and subsequently goes through big caps, mid caps, and then bull market where anything that is a coin pumps. That's the way it works. It's been working that way for the whole, for each and every 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. So looking at this and looking where we are now, if Bitcoin finds its floor, which is what I'm hoping for, fingers crossed. Remember now, we've got Bitcoin and we've got Enough technical analysis said that there's wooden bullish divergence. BTC is close to a point where it finds its floor. At that stage, with the dominance where it's at, giving us bearish divergence, if the dominance does this, breaks down, with BTC going to that area, that will be the time for your alts to shine. Bring it back to Ethereum. Ethereum is getting ready to do that. If Ethereum goes to its first most probable next target, sitting right there, that's a potential gain from where we are now, about 60%. But if Bitcoin does that, goes to its next potential target, I'm going to go to BTC on the daily, which is at 34K. Let me just make this bigger. There we go. Just 34K. That's a gain of 29%. So everything is lining up for some of these alts to go into hyper mode now. We just need to navigate this crazy week that we're going through now. This crazy week with all this pointing up on the screen here. PPI, CPI, the dot plot. We just need to navigate this. And somewhere around this, in this week, we're going to be finding some good deals. Doesn't this sound great? Doesn't this make sense? Okay, guys, if it makes sense, give me a like. Give me a smash. A little bit of a subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm going to guide you through this the whole week. So that being said, let's look at some alts while we're here. Because, I mean, now which alts are the ones that we need to be looking at? So let me share some alts with you guys. First one, we just looked at Ethereum. So I'm saying to you guys, from a big point of view, an investment point of view, alt bag point of view, Ethereum's looking good. Okay. We've got BTC with his back against the wall. We're going to find out really quick if the market's against us and we'll be able to get out. That's great. So with that being said, Ethereum does look really poised, but there's more. All those coins that got annihilated by the SEC and the dump over the weekend, all those coins are doing the following. Cardano, look at that. Strong bullish divergence. Nobody believed Bitcoin is bottoming when we were here, except the guys that were following us at this stage that got those buys. And if you're one of those, just give me a 777 in the chat. I just want to know if you guys are still watching. So that's the thing. So here where we're at now, the big discount has potentially already been had. This thing is smashed to the floor. The dominance is turning, which means that if Bitcoin's retracing, the punishment that's going to be within this alt is not going to be exaggerated over that Bitcoin retraces. Meaning Bitcoin goes down 10%, this thing might go 3%, still within our target area. What do we know when we have these divergences? Let's look at Bitcoin when we're there. Look at these 7/7s. Thanks for staying loyal, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. So what do we know when Bitcoin goes into this area? Let me just show you something. I'm going to go back to BTC on the weekly. Simple analysis. This is a simple trick, guys. It took me forever to figure this out. Okay. Simple trick. Use my FIB. Take the wick of that weekly candle that creates the divergence. There's your context. Bottom, 15K. Just buy the blooming 50% of the wick, stop below. That's all. That is your sign that is bottom. And that is as close to getting in on the bottom as can potentially be. So there's Cardano. Do the same. So I'm not saying grab it now. I'm not saying be stupid, be foolish. I'm saying have a plan. And I'm saying the plan is simple. This thing might chop up. This whole week can go there. And then smash down just to mess with you. That's your time to take it. Be wise about it. Okay. Right. Let's have a look at a few more. Let's quickly just let's look at a few comments. See, there's a few comments. We will make it together into the coming bull market. Yes. You guys are going to be doing well because guess what? Especially those that join in now. Those that get in now, you're not, I would say, corrupted by the bear market loss, because for as beautiful place as this can be, it can be the exact opposite. Going down 99% on a coin that you thought was going to make you retirement money is an immense feeling to go through. So you might be struggling, sitting on the side, dealing with those things. You're going to have to work on that. But for those that are new, you've only got the possibilities. You're going to be, let's say, you're going to want to take the charts, but you're not going to throw everything in because you know it's a wild shot. You're not, like I said, corrupted by it just yet. So that's a nice place to be. Okay, so let's look at this next comment. If you had time and a wish, please check a Rndr on the weekly. I don't like Rndr on the weekly. I'll show you now. I just want to show you that. Look, Rndr is a project completely different, but I think its move is done. But let's go on through this. I just want to show you a few of these. Using, let's maybe start with Rndr. While we're there, thanks. Let's do Rndr. I didn't type in Rndr. Okay, there we go. Binance, USDT, the weekly. Now I want to ask you, if you look at this, yes, there's hidden bullish divergence. So there's a continuation. But let's zoom out and look at this, okay? Your argument is a cup and handle, but what a cup and handle normally does is it works as follows. You'll have the cup forming, meaning that's the cup, but then you'll have a handle, and the handle is something like a flag. So the pattern looks like this on that end, and then there's a retrace, and that normally moves it. So it needs to be a cup and a handle. This is more just price moving up, resembling possibly a cup and handle. But let's say you're right. If this is a cup and handle and you want to play that play, for that, with that hidden bullish divergence on the weekly that you're finding there, you can do that and say to yourself, okay, that's my max potential. $5 on Rndr. Cup and handle. That's the argument. Okay. That would be the best play. Personally, I would rather look for something that's more overbought and undervalued than this one that's just cheap, because they're going to have bigger gains. Okay, this is still a 5x. I think where's Rndr now? $2 to $6 is a 3x. You know, who might be that picky? But I just don't feel like it's a cup and handle. It's not giving me the clean cup and handle pictures that I'm used to. Okay, maybe my experience, maybe me being an idiot. Okay, but that's the thing about traders. We're frenemies. We can differ. Okay, let's have a look at Rune. Somebody's saying Rune is at an absolute bottom. Let's see if Rune is at an absolute bottom. Let's have a look at Rune on the weekly. Now, for me to be at the absolute bottom, I need strong bullish divergence. Remember that? Same as Bitcoin. I don't want to complicate this. So I'm looking at this. What are we getting? Rune is falling. So it's bottom, but let's see if the RSI is saying to myself it's cheap or it's undervalued. Basically, the RSI at this stage is saying to me that with this one, it's just cheap. It doesn't mean that it can't get cheaper. I want to buy it undervalued. I want to buy it when it's not just cheap. It is stupid cheap. And this one is telling me that it's trending down. So if I look at this, Bitcoin goes up, this will go up, correct? You don't have to think about it. It's over, it's doom and gloom. But if this one goes up, Bitcoin will go up. Bitcoin goes up, this one will go up. But look at this on the weekly. I'm going to just switch a line tool. And if you look at this line tool and nothing else, I want you to ask yourself a question and maybe just answer me, Manny. Is this a line of something that's trending up or a line of something that's trending down? And as traders and investors, we're saying we treat the trend as if it lasts forever. And you want a DCA or paywall. Sorry, not Manny. You want a DCA when something is doing this. Dollar cost average. You want to buy a certain level. Or you want to buy every month, meaning that I'm buying a little bit on July. So that's the price I got. Then I bought in September. So that's the price I got. Then I buy in November. That's the price I got. And that means that's my average price. That's DCA. But for me at this stage, from where I'm at now, there's better alts to be in. I'm not saying that this is a horrible project. I'm just saying there's better alts that's got more profitable upside than this one. Keep that in mind. Okay. So it's trending down, guys. So just be careful of that. You love it, but don't fall in love with it. Don't marry it. Just use it for money. You know, that's what you want to try and do with that. Okay. So I'm going to look at Link real quick. I want to show you Link USDT. And then we're going to end the stream off. If there's any other questions or any other coins, please let me know in the comments, guys. And before I look at Link, before I share what I've got with Link, I just want to take a quick sec and say to you guys, thanks for today's channel sponsor, Primexbt. Head over to my Discord and get in on the copy trade account. All you need to do is open an account with my Prime, with the Prime link, okay? And come and click on this button. It's going to ask you for your email, and if so, I can give you the copy trade line. Or alternatively, if you fund your account with more than $2,000, you can actually get in on the advanced group as well, which means you get access to the market tactic videos. We do them every morning where we analyze the market in greater detail. We look at trade setups. We do a lot of things. It comes with a dedicated Q&A channel as well. People can ask questions, and the next morning I spend time in the video answering them, making sure that you're in the know. So get in on that, or alternatively, just go over to the subscribe channel, sign in with your Discord account, and then subscribe. All right, let's get back to business. I said Link, and maybe one more, guys. Let me know in the comment. I will pick one more coin. Let me know, and I will pick. I'll let Peter pick one in the comments. So throw those coins. Let's quickly see. Question: does Prime require KYC? No. That's why I like it as a trader. Wise, I just want to trade. I don't store my money there. It's not a. I don't even do it on Binance. I mean, you need to have it. Not your keys, not your coins. Simple as that. I put Tether there. I trade. I make profit. I buy alts. I lock it away. That's what I'm doing. So that's the goal there. You can't even, I think that you can buy a few spot pairs. It's purely trading, and you can trade Forex and you can trade crypto, which is nice because if I go to other exchanges, I'm kind of limited to just crypto. And some of these pairs, I mean, come on, guys, some of these charts are like, it's like no-brainers getting in on some of these Forex pairs. So why not, you know? So that's the beauty about that. So, okay, let's not get off topic. I don't want to get off topic. Okay. So let's have a look at Link. I want to show you Link. Link's been dead. I said Link's been dead. Why is Link dead? Well, layer ones needs oracles to gather the data for the blockchain, meaning think of the blockchain as a spreadsheet. Let's do this. Think of the blockchain as a spreadsheet. Somebody needs to put the data in the spreadsheet. That's what oracles does. Okay. They are secure in a decentralized way and in a network way so that they can get the data that needs to go into that blockchain in a way that it's not corrupted. That's their job. Okay. So when layer ones aren't going crazy with new projects being built on them, bear market. Okay. Oracles don't do well. But when the bull market turns around, everything new needs oracles. The way they do that is they pay by buying their coins, and you get the advantage of that. Yes, there's burning mechanisms. I'm oversimplifying things, but that is the key. Charlie 3, Link, there's a few more. Those coins will have their day. They're dead now. They're not just cheap, they're undervalued. And that's why I like this one. Okay. So let's look at Link. Bring in the RSI real quick. Making a lower low, RSI is telling me now it wants to be bought. This is a good one. So let this week's crazy go by, and then we come to this bottom in a few days or so, and then we look for this buy zone. Don't AP now. Don't be stupid. Be patient. Warren Buffett has a beautiful saying like that. The way that you make money in the market is by waiting and being patient. That's all that this is. These candles showing you impatient people. You need to be patient. You need to wait for that yellow line. It's going to come, and then you're going to grab it. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it off there. There's still Algorand, Lena, and so forth. Let's leave them for tomorrow. Why not? I'll make a list, and I'll have them charted for you guys for tomorrow. That's about that, guys. Let's end. I want to say thanks for each and every one for you for joining in. Remember to leave me a comment. Maybe give me a comment of coins that you want me to chart for tomorrow. I'll definitely make sure to have a look at that. So in the channel, in the comment section on this video, just throw a few names out. We'll have a look at them tomorrow for you. As always, guys, may the candles ever print in your favor, and keep hustling.
I'll keep hustling.